No, like, I'm watching that and I'm watching that. Like, yeah.
That's why, that's.
Okay, public comment time. Do we have anyone that has a public comment to make? Seeing none, move on. Planning Commission meeting minutes from June 4th. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Well, please do that. Give you a minute to look at the minutes. Should be all it takes. Right? I love that. While Jay is looking, any comments? Great. You good?
No,
You good?
yeah.
Very good. Fred's good.
Looks like everything's.
Chair to entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor of accepting minutes as submitted, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, minutes are approved as submitted. All right, old business, A and B, we have Meadows Landing. Can we have a motion to table A and B?
I'll make that motion to table, the old business consideration final subdivision plan and consideration of final land development plan for MLD Meadows Landing due to their request.
Very good. And they gave a written extension of time
Yes,
in the
I believe
email.
they did.
So comfortable with that. Okay, so we have a motion we have to table. We have a second.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion
Can I
carries.
make a question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
What was the reason for the delay?
I think they're still addressing the comments from.
No,
last time,
they
right?
were out of town.
Oh, is that what it was? They did address most of the
Going to be
comments.
out of town. They just couldn't make
Okay.
it. They're
The out of town
right?
was a convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them were out of town.
Kind of worked.
Yeah, that too.
Just as convenient.
Very good. Next item of old business is consideration of revision to the southern section of the approved land development plan and PRD from PA Finance 2 for Burkett Manor number 1. Does anybody hear from the applicant?
Sir.
Good evening, Jonathan Garceski, project manager with Gateway Engineers, representing PA Finance. So yeah, we were here last month, had a few outstanding comments. We did address those comments, resubmitted those back to the township as well as the Bankson. We did receive a follow-up letter on the 23rd and resubmitted comments, the revisions back to them. There were two really minor outstanding items that we addressed, and those were resubmitted to TJ on the 26th. One was related to a crosswalk at the existing intersection of Black Oak and Redbud. That was added to the plans. There was a storm sewer conflict, and that was revised as part of that resubmission. And then outstanding items related to a grading permit application, as well as outside agency approvals. Those are all in process, and the grading permit application is completed and will be submitted to the township upon approval from the supervisors.
Anybody from the board have any questions for the applicant? No? TJ? Thank you very much.
I just have one question for you. Were you going to make any changes to your geotechnical report as a result of what you're doing there, or none needed for that?
None was needed based off the memorandum that we submitted to you and the township. Essentially, since everything is being removed related to the material that's on site, all the original conditions from the geotechnical report can continue to be followed.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, then our office, we did submit a second letter, June 23rd, which Jonathan's group and Terry have addressed all of our concerns. Our recommendation at this time would be that you reapprove the development with the condition that they obtain their incidental mining permit needed to do the work that they're proposing to do in the second phase. So we're recommending approval with the condition that they get their other third-party permits.
So we essentially recommending approval of an amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's an amendment to the final approval, right?
Correct.
Okay. Board have any questions for TJ?
I just had one because of something that happened with me. All of the storm sewer grades and everything have been adjusted so that there won't be any impact um, to any adjacent properties?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. Yeah, and that's actually what necessitated this resubmission. They didn't change any of the road alignments or anything, but they did change elevations and depth slopes on the inlets and the storm sewers and on the sanitary sewers. And the developer's agreement says any change of that effect requires reapproval by planning and supervisors. So, Yep.
Conservation looks at that again, right, as well, and then.
We met with them on Friday last week, and we resubmitted to them this week.
Can I ask a question too?
course.
Trying to understand that. As because of the materials being removed,
Mhm.
obviously that's where this, I'm guessing that's where the slopes and all this with the storm sewers were adjusted because of that. So that's removed. There's no fill going back in to replace any of that differential in the elevation
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the whole reason we're lowering the site is because that material is coming off the
coming
property.
off. So that's, okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Chair would entertain a motion.
Chair.
Yes. Paul.
I'll make a motion that we recommend consideration of a, do we want to say an amendment?
I would say you're gonna do a motion to recommend final approval of an amendment
Okay,
to the approved land development plan. Yeah. let's get that.
okay.
What do you think? TJ? Recommend approval of the approved, final approval of the amended land development plan.
Okay,
Um,
I will make a motion to recommend final approval of the amended land development plan and PRD from PA Finance to LLC for Burkett Manor Plan number 2, located along Burkett Lane and the R4 medium density residential zoning district.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, new business. Consideration of revision to the approved Zipco subdivision. Why are we reapproving already approved? This is very redundant. Just kidding. Zipco subdivision located along parcel numbers, as you see there in the R2. Is anybody here from the app? Uh-oh. Well, you can do it.
Yeah, so I'm not prepared, but I know that they okayed the deed and there was an issue at the court. Something.
The information at the courthouse was wrong, right, TJ? The base, and that's, since the information was wrong, it has to be redone in order to have clear title on the property. So it's actually, she's coming back to fix the error that was made by the Washington County Courthouse.
Yeah, and I think it carries back even to the 1980 something plan. 85, that's what I thought, yeah.
Parcel number, or is it a?
It's the way that they had the access to two of the existing lots, and they had them not as a. No problem, Fred.
Come on.
They insisted they have that.
Under.
They had the 50-foot access to go into two of the existing lots was shown as its own lot, not as part of the remnant parcel and as a true easement. It was shown.
It was shown as its own parcel. Or own
Correct.
lot.
Yeah, and that impacted the lot areas and the calculations and so forth. So that was a error from decades ago that was carried forward on this Zipco subdivision, and they ran into a problem at the county when they went to record
County
it. So
caught it.
I guess,
It must have.
I guess the lot totals impact taxing and so forth. I'm not sure of all the details, but that's what the surveyor communicated to me. So,
So you're adjusted to the plan.
yeah, so
Site
we're
plan.
recommending that we reapprove this with that adjustment so that the lots are shown correctly.
And you've
and the
seen it.
access is
Yeah, he's made the adjustment. The
Yes.
surveyor's seen it. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you, TJ.
Yep, you're welcome.
Any questions? Good.
I have a question, TJ.
Yeah.
This like lot 2 and lot 1, there's like a couple houses on that one lot, isn't there? Maybe, like your house and, there's like houses in here, aren't they?
They're private property that were involved in the farm. They're splitting the farm.
Okay.
I think these two, nothing's changing on those two lots.
Yeah.
Which would make them non-conforming.
But they're
Already.
pre-existing non-conforming. We're not removing a lot line that's putting two, I think that's what you're asking,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
We're not
just saying.
removing a lot line that's making
Yeah.
two
I wondered
units
why
on
you
one.
thought There'd be two houses
Right.
on one lot.
I think DJ's saying that's the pre-existing
We wouldn't permit it
non-conforming
these
condition.
days, but if it's carrying forward.
Grandfathered
pre-existing
in.
units, yes.
Yeah.
It's the stay.
So the change is right here. They have this show as part of the
Questions for TJ on the Zipco subdivision? Good, Fred?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Who's the surveyor?
Harshman.
It's David Osborne.
Yeah. Okay, Chair would entertain a motion unless there are any other questions.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to recommend consideration of revision to approve Zipco subdivision located parcel number 600 blah, 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 in the R2 suburban residential zoning district.
You're recommending approval. Okay, very good. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ooh, that was almost a race for the
Second.
Kristen, you
I was
choose.
when I ate in my mouth. I didn't see that.
Oh, my voice.
I almost
got my
mouth open.
There's no further discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Laney, for sticking up for your survey. They shouldn't bill you for,
That's right.
he shouldn't bill you for not coming, so you should be good.
You should actually bill him.
You should bill, yeah. Second time. around.
Actually,
Oh, no, right. Mm.
Do you want an extra copy now?
Okay, next item of new business is consideration of fossil fuel electric generating facilities ordinance. The board had a chance to take a good look at that.
No.
Well, it was in the packet. Kristen sent it out. It's online.
Well, yeah, you're wrong.
You got better things.
We're gonna be, we're having the public
The
hearing.
public hearing's already set
Set for
for
the end of the month.
end of the month. It's for the supervisors. It's advertised for the end of the month.
It's
So
pretty
this is your
much,
chance.
it's pretty much similar to the data center which we adopted in terms of setbacks and all that.
Yes, did you change? Oh, I'm sorry, Paul, you have a question?
Oh.
already? Go ahead.
Um, I did look over it as quickly as I could, but the lot, I noticed there's as far as lot size, is there any definitive lot size in total, Dennis?
I didn't
noticed
put that in it, but I can put that in if you think it's,
I don't know. I don't know enough to say one way or the other, but I did see like a 40% coverage limit or something.
we can make it consistent with the data because I think we have a, what's it, 40-foot acre situation for a lot size. I think I know we
do
do.
not remember. You
It's
would,
40 acres. I've
Okay.
read that sucker so
I
many
was
times.
gonna say, yes, you would remember.
It's 40 acres. I'll add the same thing to it then.
Okay.
But everything is pretty much consistent in terms of setbacks, in terms of decommissioning, in terms of lighting, in terms of buffering and so forth. Only thing we had a little bit different this time is they have to comply with certain types of DEP requirements, because I'm not, that's a DEP situation,
Yeah.
but just make sure that they comply with DEP, because I know what they're doing nowadays. They're generating electricity on site nowadays.
Well, then,
I mean, they're gonna have a fossil fuel, some kind of diesel, big diesel generator or.
Well, we
some-
tackled in our data centers, we already tackled the generators, the diesel generators, because I think we limit them to, was 120 hours a year or something like that, and they have to give us reports. So we've already touched on the generators being backup. This is a little bit different.
okay.
Your data center ordinance, by the way, I've read a number of articles. In fact, it's been considered to be the best in the state of Pennsylvania. In fact, Amwell Township was quote inspired by what you folks did here.
You're gonna have to patent it then.
No, in fact, I talked to the Observer reporter, and the guy commented about something about state laws coming out. He mentioned about Amwell, and they said that even the solicitor said they were inspired by South Spain's ordinance. So you guys are making headway.
Making headway. I just wonder, so this, because I've been out of the loop on this, but this is to generate power for the data center.
Correct. The
And
data,
it's exclusive to that. It isn't gonna put power on the grid or anything like that.
well, that's a possibility, because what I learned is from talking with people is sometimes if they have the backup generators, and if you don't, what they would do is the power company would say, if you go off the grid, we'll pay you X amount of dollars for electricity you generate, and you can supply us with it. So what they're doing nowadays, this is to power the data center or data, how do you say the word? I have no idea. How you power the center, this thing will help generate electricity. So they could possibly even sell it to the grid. Because if right now I've read an article today that because of the energy, because of the heat wave we're having, we're running out of electricity right now.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the computers to dim.
So this pretty much runs parallel to what we've done in terms of the data center, in terms of setbacks. I'll add the 40 acres to it or something of that nature for the board to consider at the next meeting.
Do we have any limits on how many megawatt this generator is gonna be?
No, because I have no idea. This is a whole new world.
Because, I mean, you can have a generator that's, as big as a pickup truck, or you can have a generator like a Hatfield power plant.
But that's what these are. They could be. That's what these
mean,
could be.
If it's that big, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff needs to be done with FERC.
Well,
And,
that says they're gonna have to comply with state and federal laws with that stuff.
yeah,
But
and like
when you
air
talk,
quality permits, if you have a big generator, they're gonna have to have air permits and all
and
kinds of
that
stuff.
references they have to have necessary permits. But when you talk about generators, I know, again, I always fall back to Hopewell Township.
Still have.
They were putting generators on well pads to
Yeah.
do Bitcoin mining.
Superseded
Uh,
by the state.
Well, I know the well pad generators, a lot of those were gas, they were running those off the gas from the
Right.
well.
They were, but they had generators. They made a lot of noise. They made a lot
Yeah.
of pollution. But we're saying here, they have to have setbacks, decommissioning, and whatever the law is in terms of produce electricity, the DEP and et cetera, they're gonna have to comply with.
Yeah,
Because we can't, we're preempted by that whole situation.
Is that something that you're talking now? It's making me ask, like you said, the oil or gas well pads and so forth, like Fred, you were saying too about they generate their own electricity with that. If would the generators they're using to create their electricity and power fall under this fossil fuel ordinance also then?
If the
Not
data
just the
center?
data center, not just the data center, but like
Any
going
place,
forward.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Anybody that has a private
So somebody
Right.
coming in.
power
here-
generation that meets that definition.
That's what
this
I'm thinking.
would comply, would fall under this.
So
if
the
you want-
gas well, I'm thinking of the existing gas well pads that are
This
out
would apply
there.
to them also.
That's what I'm thinking. Now, would it apply to ones that have already been in place and already have something in place? Or would this would apply to the ones that would implement something new?
It would be
Correct.
going forward.
Yes, that's what I'm going for.
But again, I don't think, how many well pads do we have in the township?
No.
Pads.
Mm,
Now you
Yeah.
don't know well.
Three?
Oh,
Three?
five?
Three?
Four.
Four? I think we only had three.
No,
Yeah.
four.
Three, all
No.
across.
There's
the
four.
Where you,
No,
you-
there's
where you
one
live
up
at?
on,
There's one right up
Oh, I
here.
forgot
Yeah,
there's
there's
two.
one
There's
on this
Zedeker, there's,
Yes.
Oh,
Three.
okay.
There's three off of
Okay.
Zedeker.
Zedeker, Mitchell. There's up on,
Copper Kettle, Zediker, Mitchell, Copper Kettle.
and there's
And
one
then
up
there's
on
one on,
Munts
There's,
Ridge.
there's one
Ridge,
over on Munts
Meadows.
Ridge.
Yeah, but that's in North Strabane.
no, it's not, it's
uh-uh.
South Strabane.
You got Munts
That
Ridge.
was, that's the one that should never have been put in.
Well, this would
That's
apply,
another-
this
But
would
either
apply
way,
to them if
yeah,
they don't have
okay.
something on it.
So 4.
Okay, that's what I thought. Now, also this references the noise and dust ordinance that was
That's already
just,
been adopted.
and now, and did the sensitive receptors get entered
I'm
into?
going, I had to get that done because but I am going to modify that for the meeting in August.
Okay.
But it was, we were like,
I know you had a timetable.
we had timetable we had to make. And I didn't want to screw that timetable up.
Okay, don't worry, I'll keep asking.
I do have it. It's in the file.
Okay.
Do that, Paul.
In fact, we're adopting your ordinances with every place they represent. They're adopting that at Canton Township. They just did it at Union Township the other day. Everyone's adopting it right now.
And then you're gonna have to do that amendment. And then
I'll
you're
have to
gonna
do
have
that, but
Amendments too.
But we had that time crunch I had to worry about. You
No, I
know,
know.
we were up against we're on the
Yeah.
warning track of the baseball field.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay, thank you.
all right, well, you're welcome.
Yeah, I don't think these generators, they're gonna be sized just for that data center.
Could be.
Typically, they're not gonna run generators on fuel. Put it out on the grid. It's just way too expensive. So I don't think they'll ever, what they generate will be just for the data center.
I think you're right. Fred.
They won't use them.
There won't
to
be any
put 'em
left
out on
over.
the
There's
grid.
not gonna be any left.
You know, it'll cost a fortune.
There
So,
won't be any. I
yeah,
don't think.
But I think you guys have been pretty perspective in how you handle the whole situation. So I think this is, according to Observer, they call it the trifecta or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
I
The
guess.
trifecta. The only thing I guess I would question to take a look at, Dennis, is if there is a size on, like, if I fire up a generator in my gas generator, it's 5,000 watts.
yeah.
Do I need to have 40 acres of land?
No, it wouldn't apply to
Your
that.
generator.
Right, just to make sure that we're not
It wouldn't
actually
apply to that.
putting a problem there. I gotta
It wouldn't
come
apply.
in for conditional use. Fire up my generator.
Have to run over to your house.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Bunch of them in the row.
I
Oh,
guess.
jeez.
Need a variance.
Get it done, a hearing board, get a variance.
Yeah, I only have 3 acres. I'm only at 5,000 watts. That's like-
Yeah, but you know, we're talking about stuff going on. We were at Union Township. They're putting a big battery energy system storage facility in. Do you know about that?
Mhm.
It's called-
Just on a standalone or as part of
It's
in Union Township?
Yeah.
so with this, but the speculation is they're going to be providing energy for probably a data center in just at Jefferson Hills or
To
something.
be backup or something for, interesting.
So things are coming, they're moving quickly. But I'll check on I'll put the 40 acres, I'll check one more time on the thing, but again, I'm just trying to wrap this thing through and get it out of the way, because they have, I think, we passed the ordinance, on the 5th, on June 9th?
June 9th.
So they have
If
30
anybody's
days to file an
appealing.
appeal.
Or citizen group.
I don't think the citizen group will file it. I think the
You never
citizens,
know.
they were pretty happy, weren't they?
They should have been.
You've not heard any appeals or anything like that from
Well,
the
nothing yet, but they have until July 9th, I think.
July or August 9th?
July, 30 days, 30 days.
30
from-
days.
30 days from June 9th, 21/9, they have until July 9th to file.
Yeah.
Well, if they go on past practice, we get it. It comes the day out.
Probably it's what they're gonna
That's
do.
when I'd file.
That's
Dude, right? How many times have you filed early, Dennis, in your
Look,
career?
July 9th.
I always wait to the last
It's the
minute.
last. Hey.
Oh, of course.
You always want to surprise.
Yeah.
You wanna make-
Sometimes after 5 o'clock now
So
that it's
just wait.
electronic file.
But you never file early.
No. It won't be early.
And we'll be filing an appeal, by the way, on the zoning hearing board's decision about the solar panel also, by the way, Mr. Gordon. He's not even listening to us. He's I said, we're filing an appeal on your zoning hearing board.
I understand that. Good.
Township is.
Yeah.
feeling-
Yeah,
Oh, did they
opened-
grant something that?
Oh, they opened up a can of worms.
Oh, boy.
I mean, a real can.
Hmm.
Oh, that's exciting stuff. All right, anybody, I see there are a couple people signed up. It looks like wanted to discuss this, so I'll let you do it now if you didn't do it at the public comment time. Yes, sir. Please.
We thought it was that beginning stuff, not like this.
That's fine. That's usually how I do it. Can you come up to the mic, sir? Nice hat, by the way. And please tell us who you are.
Dennis Malone, live in South Strain Township, Warrior Hill Road. I'm kind of unprepared and didn't know much about this myself. I just got informed a little bit of information within an hour ago and had some concerns, wanted to ask some questions. Is this something that will be taken action on tonight, or will it be something where more people, since it's a holiday weekend also, a lot of us weren't able to be here for this?
Sure. The public hearing that's put in the paper for the supervisors is, when is that, Dennis, again? The
Fourth
date?
Tuesday of the month. What day is that? 28?
My birthday. So that's the actual hearing where the supervisors as the governing body will take testimony and then decide. They may or may not make a decision at that time, but that's your public hearing to get more information and to put things on the record. You have the opportunity to do that here as well as planning. We just are recommending body in
Oh,
that
okay,
sense.
so nothing, no action will be taken till a later
We'll
point.
probably make a recommendation in the sense of, so the supervisors about the
Okay.
ordinance, yeah, which we've made a couple comments already. So
Yeah,
for
and
them to
I heard
consider.
you talking about setbacks and so on also for something like that. And
Yes.
and what does it concern, just residential, or is it concern like schools and hospitals?
It does
in
both.
making-
And as Dennis said, we
1500
have, go ahead, Dennis.
It's 15, the data center is 1,500 feet from a occupied residential structure. You have 500 feet from a property line in terms of property situation. There's a 100-foot buffer of vegetation, trees, native tree species and so forth. There is also provisions regarding lighting. You know, we don't want the place lit up like you have up here with Sam's Club and Giant Eagles and so forth. We also have provisions concerning noise. That's, we passed the ordinance just a while, but last meeting, but I do have to mod, because the vice chairman made a good comment at one of the meetings. I have to change it, do have to change it. It is on it's on the top of the file. So we're trying to protect the citizens as much as possible. We cannot say no data centers. We cannot say no fossil fuel situations. We have to locate them. They're only located in industrial areas only, not in agricultural properties, not in residential properties. So we're going to limit it just industrial. And we have different, are you familiar with the data? Were you guys coming to the data center ordinances where we had?
Yes.
This is pretty much mirrors what's in there. And the ordinance, if you go online, I mean, I've read, there's something called Substack, is it internet site or something, Substack? Even they reviewed the ordinance. They said it's a pretty good ordinance.
So how many days do you have to consider all of this?
What's that?
How many days do you have to consider all of that before you make your decision?
Well, it's gonna go before the Board of Supervisors at the end of the month. We're planning, this is
okay.
planning commission. They make recommendations.
Oh, okay.
So do you have any problems with the ordinance? Is something you're concerned you have right now, or?
No, after reading things about the data centers, it seems like there's a lot, this is new, and it's coming in so fast in so many areas. And I don't envy you trying to make, you have to have accurate and complete information to make a good decision.
I've read a lot about
And
this.
I'm so thankful that you're all involved in this to try to protect the citizens of the township. And, I'm just wanting to get an idea of what this was about and what you had to consider in the time frame of it all. This way, like you're saying, it'll give a hearing time for more people to be able to come and speak up instead of just the holiday weekends. It makes it tough for people to be there. So
Yeah,
That's
it's-
for gonna be
We're-
here,
wait, we're
Dennis, right
here.
now. That's scheduled for
Yeah,
in this room.
but we're here
for
today.
20. But yeah,
right?
but we're here on the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
What's more patriotic than serving your community
But
right before the 4th of July holiday?
But bring your own hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's right. Plenty of time for that
the
tomorrow.
ordinance, is pretty strong. The ordinance is pretty strong. The three ordinances run together. The data center incorporates the noise and also incorporates the fossil fuel. And nowhere in the state of Pennsylvania is there a 1,500-foot setback, even a 1,000-foot setback. I think it's the best. But we're 1,500 foot from a residential structure. And we have, if you read have you read the ordinances at all? You need to read the ordinance because it does
Need a
provide.
copy of it?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
You can have this one right there.
you can have mine too. Do you want? a
One
couple
thing,
copies?
one thing that, you said, you said everything's coming fast and there's not enough time. Truthfully, the only body that really has the ability to delay things by calling for a moratorium would be the state. And there's such a mishmash of things going on there right now with
Yeah.
the pressure to accommodate on the one hand, because it's politically expedient on one hand. On the other hand, there are people who want things. The townships and the county don't have any say in that. The only body that could do that would be the legislature, and then to have it signed by the governor to have a moratorium on data center development. And that's just the way that the laws are in this state.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that are most concerning are that there's no track record. It hasn't been long enough. Doesn't seem to be a track record to follow for how the data centers affect that area. And so you've got a limited amount to go on. So it makes it hard to make the decisions.
There are data
And
centers. There are data centers operating already in the eastern part of the state.
Yes,
And there's a lot of controversy about those. But once again, it's, as I said, there are people within the legislature who do want to have a moratorium, but it doesn't, to me, I mean, this is just my opinion. What I've seen so far doesn't look like that they'll be able to get a majority vote in both of the houses, of the legislature to get a moratorium.
No.
I mean, that's just what I believe to be the case based on what I've been reading.
Well, and I think it's kind of like anything else you look at. It's like any uses that you have. There are a lot of uses that are very common and that are in our township and others that you would find offensive if it was in a residential district, but it belongs in an industrial district. So that's where they go. And you have a place for those and you need those things, be it a steel mill, or anything like that, where you might not want to live right next door to that. Some people might not care, but that's why we have industrial zones for industrial uses. And I think, so that was the first step, is in like, okay, you look at, well, what is this use? When we start looking at what is a data center and what information we have, like, it sounds like that belongs in an industrial zone, doesn't belong in an agricultural zone or residential zone or even a light commercial zone. So I think when the supervisors and Dennis and they look to do it, it's like, okay, we'll start there. Okay, industrial zones. Okay, what additional protections can we do? I think for the residents, if in something that's allowed in an industrial zone and this specific use, well, that's when they came up with further setbacks. So, because obviously an industrial zone has a border, and what's on the other end of that might be a residential zone.
yeah.
So you put buffer zones in to bring those further back. Now, if it's an industrial piece of property surrounded by other industrial property, they can go within 500 feet of the property line, which is still a very large setback to start with. But just like I think as Dennis has said too, if you're going to have a power plant on that property, well, we don't know what that looks like. I know of no privately owned large size power plants anywhere. certainly not Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think.
So we don't know what that's gonna look like.
Yeah, part of it is these data centers are new, so there's like big spin-off
Mhm.
issues with them. You know, they use so much electricity that the grid can't supply the data center. And then they're by law, people that have electricity have to still be able to get it. So
Mhm.
they can't shut down other people to run the data center. So that's now, these generating facilities are to support the data center primarily because they use so much electricity. They can't just use the grid that's there. They have to have their own power source.
Mhm.
So then that kicks us into a whole nother ordinance on, you know, power plants and, you know, you can have power plants that are small. They have nuclear power plants now that are as big as your refrigerator. So there's all
And that
kind of stuff.
technology will improve
Yeah,
over
the
time. but
technology will improve and you'd be surprised, you know.
Fuel cells is the big thing they talk about
So,
nowadays, but
so where do you live at? You,
On Porter Hill Road,
is it, what's that classification?
that's
I
agricultural.
think that's A1.
You live on the other side of Route 7,
Yes,
so you don't have, there's no industrial over there at all.
No, but
So this is.
they're only separated by the high.
We're only separated by the highway.
Yeah.
From the industrial.
That's
zone.
When
500
we
feet.
first started, CNX was,
so you're at least
they
1,000
went
feet.
100-foot setback from, they went 100-foot setback from data centers when the CNX was telling us,
100 foot from the property line.
yeah.
wow. There's the ideal thing would be to, like you're talking about, an industrial area, the furthest away from your concerns to have it located. But they're looking
There's
at
always a
the
border
cheapest
somewhere,
way
yeah.
to,
They gotta be.
for
they have-
them,
But they have, we can't say no data centers,
right?
no fossil fuel in the township. If we say that, I give this lecture all the
It's
time.
clearly, yeah.
It's basically
Exclusion.
exclusionary, then the ordinance is invalid, so we can't say that. We have to allow there to be some things.
Mhm.
So the only place that data centers, fossil fuel, whatever these things are, will only be in industrial districts, not in agricultural, not residential, not commercial.
The center of it,
What's that?
the direct center of the AI.
There's nothing proposed. No projects have been submitted to the township. Yeah, so this is just an ordinance in case someone does come and wants to put one of these facilities in the township. We'll have an ordinance that they'll have to comply with in order to do that. So when they're looking to develop a piece of property, first thing they're gonna do is look at the current ordinances and go, can I build a facility that I want and meet these ordinances? It'll affect their decision on where they.
See, and I think, it's my position, I think they should be installed on brownfields. You know, like an old coal mine.
Yeah.
I think they should be installed on brownfields. That's where the,
Yes, down where the coal mine is on Mitchell. That's what I
Mitchell?
was thinking.
no, but I'm just, no, where I'm
Mill
talking
sites.
about where I grew up in Vesterburg on the river. We had all those old coal mines, you know. Put them there. That's where they should.
Wash the water. Can't run the rivers dry, right?
No, and that's a lot of things. The water thing too is not what a lot of people think it is. Maybe prior, like again, technology's changed. I think some facilities have set up cooling towers and water systems, but that doesn't seem to be the direction in the
They've
future.
changed that, Tom.
They've changed that to closed systems now and
Techniques for that, that'll reduce water usage drastically.
right. So then you have fans and for to exchange heat and things like that. So when they come up, but sure, what's your name, man?
Can I say something?
Of course.
Okay, with all of our talk technology and everything, why is it that when they use that water for these data centers, that they can't, they put it through their machines, they cool their machines and everything, then when they shoot it back out, it's salty and it kills our flora and fauna. Why is it that they can't do something with that water to make it purified enough? I have a septic system. I have a septic system where it's a $50,000 septic system at the mine. put in.
Sure.
And the water, when it comes out at the other end, I can drink it coming right out of that machine, or, you know, right out of the septic system. That's how clean it is. Because I have ultraviolet and everything. I don't understand why first of all, why we have to pay so much if we're gonna end up paying a lot of money for our water and our electricity, and they can't do anything to fix that water as it comes out of that data center.
I can't tell you enough what little I do know, but the state regulates water, water. And you can't just put water out that's got a high saline content in it, like you can't. So if that's happening somewhere, that's a violation.
Yeah, there
And
has to be
the
something they
DEP
do.
Well, they
can
were-
enforce
when
that.
when the gas
Yeah,
wells.
but yeah, you can't do that.
I mean, when the gas wells were, they were doing a lot of fracking, what have you, that, the heavy, the minerals and salts that were generated are not gonna be the same in a data center where you have a cooling tower that just cools the water down. It's not really involved in the process except for cooling. So, they have to have a discharge permit and they have to meet certain parameters. But there's a lot of water in western Pennsylvania. You'd be surprised.
I
The
think
river, people, well, I'm not gonna go into how I know, but like, for example, the US Steel at Edgar Thompson works in Braddock. They have a permit to withdraw 400 million gallons a day. That's how much water they take out of the Mon River, 400 million gallons a day. And you know how much that equals on the river? About a half inch. So there's a lot of water going down the river, more than people realize. And that's why the mills were there,
But I'm certain
So-
that if they're taking the water out,
But when they put it back,
they have,
it's
it
tested.
it has to be
Yeah.
tested because otherwise
Yeah,
they'd
they're
be
in
violation
violation.
of permit. So they just can't take water with all those chemicals and just put that out. It has to go through a process with the state. The state permits that. Like you have sewage plants. We have your thing. There's permits for that water. You have to have a permit to clean it and so forth. There has to be a permit showing how clean it is when it gets out. It just can't throw water like people, I think a lot of people putting out stuff out there that's really false about,
Okay.
you can't read everything in the internet.
They have their own plants. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the big industrial things have their own plants to treat their water.
I just wondered because
But a lot of this stuff is controlled by the state. It's not controlled by the township because we're preempted by the state in terms of a lot of environmental laws. But I know the board here, the township's been very protective of its resident. I live in South Strabane myself, and I don't want to have headaches. And so I take it, we all take it serious.
I'll be praying that God will give you insight and understanding and wisdom
I
as
read,
you make your decisions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other comments from the board?
Can I ask another
Sure,
question?
Paul. Of course.
Right, okay.
We're 15 minutes under my max, so we're good.
You told me we'd be out here by quarter after.
Oh, would have been. Somebody put this on the
She got
agenda.
here early, so she figures she's entitled to this.
That's right.
So do you want to make a motion to recommend approval?
Yeah.
Well, first I have another question.
Sure.
As I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, okay, I don't recall seeing anything about enclosures or anything. Is it supposed to be like, this is and Fred's talking about, stuff being generated, and then what's coming to mind is that West Penn substations, and that's what I'm thinking is where the power is generated and so forth. So I'm thinking,
It's
okay,
not generated in the substation.
It's not-
No.
The
It's
the
not.
substation just splits it up in different areas.
Okay,
It's not
alright.
generated. It's
that's,
not generated.
okay. That's what, then that makes sense. Okay. Well, that relieves me a little bit. But no, should they be enclosed? Should they not
I
be
don't,
enclosed?
I
Do we
don't
need
know
to
anything
do
about,
anything?
The
That's
sound
okay.
ordinance
I'm
would
just-
actually probably.
yeah, we have a sound
gonna
ordinance.
control that.
Then that's where okay,
So keep in mind,
that makes sense.
the conditional use, I always tell people, a
Right.
conditional use is a super permitted use. If they're at the bottom of the steps, they touch each step, they get to the top, you have to grant it. The township has the ability to install or implement reasonable conditions to the grant of that conditional use. As one gentleman said, it's moving so quickly. I have no idea what these things even look like.
Well, that's.
I mean, so I'm just trying to have
Ex-
something.
I get it, because, it could be small, it could be huge, who knows what it's gonna be, so.
And that's why I
something's in
asked
place.
Dennis, how many megawatts? is
Yeah.
your plant? Because
Right.
it says fossil fuel generating, so that's not just oil. Coal is considered fossil fuel.
Yeah.
So
all of
they
it.
can
But-
burn coal.
Coal, natural gas.
Natural
yeah.
gas. or
But-
bunch
but-
of
Wood.
stuff.
But what most of them are doing is they're using
Not gonna be wood.
the natural gas in the area.
Yeah.
They're going to a pipe or they're going, yeah, that's what they're doing.
Not gonna be
Yeah.
coal either.
Because gas is cheaper. I think gas is cheaper than coal, isn't it?
Right now, it is, yeah.
So what they're gonna use is natural gas and that, so
That's what
we're
I'm-
trying to have something in place that they have to give us plans.
Yeah.
I keep hearing ringing, by the way.
It's not mine, it's somebody's. My phone's right here.
All right, so, but I don't know much about, I'm just trying to have something out there that if they want to generate it, we want to know what, we
Yeah,
want plans, we want to take a look at it. We want to have the engineer take a look at it and then we go from there.
well,
I mean,
that's
the
it.
current
That's what they-
technology, there's a couple things, like if it's large scale, it's gonna be reciprocating engines or turbines, natural gas. And just to meet the sound ordinances, just by design, they're not gonna be able to just put a turbine and let it
No.
run outdoors, so it will be enclosed.
Because your sound ordinance will help you with that because they'll have to have some type of acoustics.
That's.
And what I did at Union Township years ago, I knew nothing about compressor stations. So what I did is I created an ordinance down there that dealt with compressor stations. I read all these different things whenever we had compressor stations being put in, they had all these different types of acoustic around the pipes, around the doors and all that.
Yeah.
So we can do the same thing here. I don't know much about this, but we have the noise and we could tell them, if you want this, you have to keep
Yeah, that's it.
under the noise ordinance, you have to comply, you have to put in certain acoustic situations.
Yeah,
right.
that makes sense. then. Yeah, that's the.
It all runs together,
Yes, that, mhm.
okay?
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to make a motion.
So if you want to make a motion to
Paul's
recommend.
gonna make a motion.
Okay.
Good, Paul.
Okay, I make a motion that we recommend the fossil fuel electric generating facilities ordinance to the supervisors.
Subject to the acreage you talked about before, and subject to the size of the facility.
Yes,
Okay.
correct, please.
Because I wrote that down.
Okay.
Motion, do we have a second?
I read what everybody was talking about this.
All right, second by Jay. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. It's nice we can have a calm conversation about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, we would not have been able to do this in other conversation like that.
So have you been to our hearings or not?
Make the motion.
I make a.
Yeah, they can keep talking.
That was
Yes.
We supported you.
What's that, Paul?
So he says, back off from her.
me?
He said to her this morning,
There you go.
back off from me. He said, mine.
Very good.
Yeah, she was
All right.
hostile with me because I suggested the guy with the solar panels get his solar.
Oh, you about the zoning hearing board?
Yeah.
Paul,
That
you have a
We're
motion?
taking
Yeah,
a
I
pill
make a
of that. by
motion
the way.
to adjourn.
We have a second? Second. All right, we are adjourned. You,